Listen carefully, because this is exactly what thousands of people are reporting right now. People who rely on SSA, SSI, and SSDI payments are logging into their accounts and seeing delays, changes, or nothing at all. And the scary part is, most of them weren't warned. So let me ask you directly. Did this happen to you? Did you check your deposit and feel that sudden moment of panic? Because if you did, you're not alone. And no, this is not just a random glitch. There is a new banking rule quietly being rolled out right now that is affecting how these payments are processed. And it's already starting to impact real people. Seniors who depend on this money for groceries, retirees who need it for rent, disabled individuals who rely on it for daily survival. This isn't extra income. This is essential. And when something changes, even slightly, it creates real fear. Now here's what makes this situation even more confusing. There hasn't been a big announcement on TV. No clear warning that this would start happening now. No simple explanation sent to millions of people. So people are left guessing. Is the payment late? Is the bank holding it? Did something go wrong with their account? Or worse, did something happen to their benefits? That uncertainty is what's causing the most stress right now. Because when you depend on a fixed payment, timing is everything. A delay of even one day can mean missed bills, overdraft fees, or not having enough for basic needs. And right now, many people are stuck in that exact situation, waiting, checking, refreshing their accounts again and again. But here's the truth you need to understand. This didn't happen randomly. There is a reason behind these changes. There is a system behind it. And once you see what's actually going on, things will start to make a lot more sense. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break this down for you in plain, simple English. What exactly changed? Why it changed right now? And most importantly, what it means for you and your next deposit. Because the last thing you should do is panic. But the first thing you need to do is understand what's happening. Because this isn't just affecting a few people. This is spreading, and more deposits could be impacted in the coming days. So stay with me, because this didn't just happen randomly. There's a reason behind it. So let's break this down in the simplest way possible. What actually changed? It's not your benefit amount. It's not that your Social Security, SSI, or SSDI has been cut. The change is happening behind the scenes in how your payment moves from the government to your bank account. And that's where things are starting to feel different. Recently, banks and federal payment systems began tightening the way deposits are processed. This includes stronger verification steps, updated fraud protection rules, and new timing procedures for when funds are released. Now, on paper, this sounds like a good thing. It's meant to protect you, to prevent fraud, to stop unauthorized access to government payments. But here's the problem. When these systems change, even slightly, it can affect when and how your money shows up. Before, many deposits would appear early, sometimes even a day ahead of schedule depending on your bank. But now, with these new checks in place, some payments are being held a little longer before they're fully cleared. Not canceled, not lost, just delayed in the process. And for someone who depends on that deposit, even a short delay feels like a major problem. Now let's talk about why this is happening right now. Over the past year, there has been a rise in fraud targeting government benefits. Scammers have been trying to redirect payments, access accounts, and take advantage of vulnerable recipients. Because of this, the Treasury and banking institutions started updating their systems to add extra layers of security. That means more verification, more monitoring, and sometimes more time before money is released into your account. Think of it like this. Before, your payment moved through a fast lane. Now, it's going through a checkpoint. And at that checkpoint, your deposit might be briefly reviewed before it reaches you. Now here's something very important you need to understand. Not everyone is affected the same way. Some people will still receive their payments exactly on time. Others may notice a delay of a few hours. Some might see it pushed to later in the day, or even the next business day. And in certain cases, especially if there are verification flags or unusual activity, the delay could be slightly longer. That's why you're seeing mixed experiences. One person says, "I got mine early." Another says, "Mine is late." And someone else says, "I don't see anything yet." It's not random. It depends on your bank, your account history, and how the new system processes your specific deposit. Now, let's make this even more real. If you usually receive your payment on the 3rd of the month, you might still get it on the 3rd. But instead of seeing it early in the morning, it could arrive later in the day. Or if your bank processes things differently under these new rules, it might not show until the next morning. And that small shift is what's catching people off guard, because no one told them to expect it. No one explained that timing could change. And when your money doesn't show up exactly when you expect it, it creates immediate stress. Now here's where it becomes even more serious. Because this isn't just about timing. This is about people who rely on these payments for survival. And when the system changes, even for security reasons, it can still create real-world consequences. And that brings us to the most important part. What this means for you personally, and what you should be checking right now. Now let's talk about you. Because this is where it becomes personal. If you depend on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI, you already know how important that deposit is. It's not extra money. It's not something you can just wait on. It's rent. It's groceries. It's medication. And when that money doesn't show up exactly when you expect it, everything feels uncertain. So here's what you need to understand right now. Even though this new system is designed to protect payments, it can still trigger situations that feel alarming. Some deposits may arrive later in the day. Some may be pushed into the next business day. And in certain cases, banks may temporarily hold a payment while it completes additional verification. Again, this does not mean your money is gone. But it does mean you need to pay closer attention than usual. So here's exactly what you should check right now. First, open your bank account and look at your recent activity. Don't just check the available balance. Look for any pending deposits. Sometimes the payment is already there, but it hasn't fully cleared yet. Next, check the date and time. Ask yourself, is it still within the normal payment window? Because with these new processing steps, timing may shift slightly. A deposit that used to arrive early in the morning might now show up later in the afternoon, or even overnight. Now, also pay attention to any alerts or messages from your bank. If there's a verification issue, your bank may notify you. It could be something simple, like confirming your identity or reviewing account activity. If you see a message like that, don't ignore it. That small step could be the reason your deposit is being held. Now, let's talk about something very important. Scams. Whenever there's confusion around government payments, scammers move fast. You might receive a call, a text, or an email claiming there's a problem with your Social Security deposit. They may ask for your personal information. They may tell you to verify your account. Listen carefully. Do not give out your Social Security number, bank details, or passwords to anyone who contacts you unexpectedly. Real agencies will not ask you for sensitive information like that through random calls or messages. If something feels off, it probably is. Now here's another thing that's causing confusion. Some people are assuming their benefits have been reduced or stopped. That is not what's happening here. This is not a benefit cut. This is not a cancellation. This is a processing change. Your payment is still scheduled. Your benefits are still active. But the way the money moves through the system has changed. And that's what's creating these delays and differences. Still, that doesn't make it easy. Because when you're waiting on money you depend on, even a few hours can feel like a long time. And for many people right now, that waiting is the hardest part. Refreshing the account, checking again and again, hoping the deposit appears. So if you're in that situation, take a breath. You're not the only one experiencing this. And in most cases, the payment does arrive, just not exactly when it used to. But that leads to the big question everyone is asking right now. What happens next? And should you actually be worried going forward? Here's the part you need to hear clearly. Your payments are not being stopped. Your benefits are not being taken away. And this is not a situation where you're suddenly going to lose your Social Security, SSI, or SSDI. What's happening right now is a transition. A shift in how payments are processed and verified before they reach your account. And like any system change, there can be some temporary delays and adjustments. But over time, things are expected to stabilize. Now, that doesn't mean you should ignore what's happening. It means you should stay aware, without panicking. because panic leads to mistakes. And right now, staying calm and informed is the most important thing you can do. Going forward, you may notice that your deposit timing is slightly different than before. Maybe it shows up later in the day. Maybe it arrives the next morning instead of early. That doesn't mean something is wrong. It means the system is working differently. And once you understand that, it becomes much less stressful. Now here's what you should do moving forward. Keep an eye on your account around your usual payment date. Give it a little extra time before assuming something is wrong. Check for pending deposits, not just completed ones. And if your payment is significantly delayed beyond what feels normal, then yes, reach out to your bank or the Social Security Administration directly. But don't jump to worst-case conclusions right away. Because in most cases, the payment is still on its way. It's just moving through a more secure process. And remember this, you are not the only one going through this. This is happening across the country. Thousands of people are seeing the same changes, asking the same questions, and feeling the same uncertainty. And that's exactly why staying informed matters. Because when you understand what's happening, you take back control. You replace fear with clarity. And you make better decisions for yourself and your finances. So if this helped you understand what's going on, make sure you stay connected. Because updates like this can happen quietly and affect millions of people overnight. And the more you know, the more prepared you are. Take care of yourself, stay alert, and I'll keep you updated with anything that you need to know.